good to see you. You get fairy dust, I get fairy dust. And Amelie is out the store trying to get us some more Purell. Okay, this is from Hollywally09. Let's look at some comments. I wasn't anxious until I could get formula or baby wipes today. My husband went to a few stores and I hit up some different ones and we're pretty good, but still, I really didn't think supplies would get this limited. It's definitely the panic in the air. Absolutely. And this shit is real. Like, we've never encountered anything like this if we have never encountered anything like this, like a natural disaster, a hurricane, the fires, whatever. Like, there's some people who have faced things like this. But even so, they could drive 15 miles from where they were, if they still had a car or whatever. They knew that there was a land in which they could get everything that they needed. You know, they knew that they lived in a place where they could get everything that they needed eventually. And I'm not saying that would be easy, and I'm not saying that would be horrible and devastating. But in the psyche, they would have an understanding that there is now a safe place for me somewhere, a hotel, a friend's house, a family member's house, not here or whatever. And that's not what this is. This is, we have to understand that. I mean, a lot of us have been to different stores to get, you know, just to find something that we expected to be there because it's always been there. And so that's just gonna spike the anxiety in us. It's just going to do that. And if you have kids, that's on a whole nother level. Like, if you have kids living at home, like, that's a whole nother level of, I need to get shit for my kids. So, you know, being anxious, we hate it, but is actually serving a purpose. So our anxiety actually can cause us, you know, I guess what I'm saying is some of the anxiety is, of course, a natural consequence of the state of our homes right now. Like, it's the state of our country right now. It's a natural, I mean, it's healthy. Like, it's like, that's what would, if you weren't anxious, at all, you're not going to get to do, you know, you're not going to go get the things that you need. There's it's called the Yerkes-Dodson law. And I think I found out somewhere that they were like not great people, but anyway, no disrespect. But anyway, I learned this, and for some reason the name of the law stuck with me, but it's about anxiety, and it's a bell curve. And so anxiety up to a point is helpful. But then past that point, it stops being helpful, like this. Like, you know, if you're not anxious at all, you're not gonna make the moves that you need to take care of yourself. If you are too anxious, you don't have the ability, you're limited in what you can do because the anxiety has fully blown up, like fully gone too much, and functioning is non-existent. And so if you think about a test, so if we're, you know, there's an important test we have to take, and that's right up here at the top of the bell curve. And so we know that if you weren't anxious, if you didn't have this anxiety, you would not study, and you're probably not going to pass. So a little bit of anxiety is healthy and motivating. But then you know, you could say this is also functioning. Like, then it goes down. So if you're too anxious, you're not going to do well on the test. But, you know, that little bit of anxiety, also performers or giving a speech or something, it's right up here. So we want a balance of anxiety and motivation, but not too much, because then that will impede our performance. So both of these, like doing nothing and having too much, impedes our performance. And so, so when you feel this feeling, it's normal. Like, it's normal. This is some scary shit that most of us have never faced before. And so, and again, like, even if, you know, I used to live in Florida and the hurricanes and everything, even if the batteries and, you know, whatever things, supplies, water, electricity, whatever, like, we knew that Alabama was fine. Like, we knew that New York was fine. Like, we knew that there was a place that at some point we would get back to being normal. And right now, that's an unknown. So I want you to be gentle with yourself about any anxiety you have, and maybe keep an eye out, like do a little pulse check, like keep an eye out. Is this anxiety serving me or is it hindering me? Is this anxiety like encouraging me to, I don't know, do something in my house? Is my, in something that would prepare, maybe it's time to clean again, like doing some kind of action. And so just keep an eye on it. Now, some of us don't have a choice. Like some of us have extreme anxiety, and it is costing our functioning. And so what I want you to do is you are being asked to use every single tool that you have used in your real life to make it go down. You use all the tools, you check all the boxes, you do all the things that are in your power to make that go away. Some of us have to not watch the news. Some of us can't read the paper. Believe you me, what I have known, because I have, many years of not watching the news, and reading, the fluff of the reading the fluff of the Sunday paper. If some shit's going down, someone will tell you. Like, not even like your person in your house, like somebody, you will go to the store and you will, out of the corner of your ear hears, did you guys hear about that coronavirus? Like, oh shit. Of course, I'm keeping more of an eye on it right now, but I have to understand, when is it still helpful? When is it not helpful? Am I given, once again, problem solving? So this is real, and part of this is accepting that this is real and keeping our focus on problem solving. Any kind of dysfunctional pattern we're in, the way out is two things. One, nurturing, self-nurturing. Two, problem solving. So you're gonna probably hear me say that a lot, but just problem solve, problem solve, problem solve. And so let's just try keeping our, anxiety in check and keeping an eye on it. And it might be useful to like make a note of it. Like, my anxiety, well, let's do it right now. Like, what's your anxiety? 10 being the most anxious, 1 being the least anxious. What's your anxiety right now? I can feel mine is about like at a 4. Like, and the weird thing, after doing this a million times in my office, you know where you are on the scale. It's so weird that we do know, like we have a number in us. And so for me, that feels manageable. And, but it might start to tick back up. And so we just want to keep an eye on it. I hope that's helpful. I'm with you. I support you. I am proud of you. Like, this is hard shit. Like all of our tools, like all of our coping is like, the chickens have come home to roost. Like, we have to use them. And remember, tools, you have to use them for them to work. They will not work if you do not use them. So it's annoying. And, but you're doing amazing. And I'm so grateful that you're here. And I love that we can still connect. Like, that's a gift. We can connect. So that's awesome. Okay, so I hope you're doing okay, and I hope maybe you've planned something comforting and wonderful for the rest of the day, or you're problem solving, and that is amazing too. And don't forget, after that you watch this, go wash your hands. Love you. Bye.